find a flat driver. Alright. Oh, right, okay, that works. I can see a little battery pack. It's quite small cells. Right. Let's screwdriver. Let's screws. They are, but they're really recessed down so far into that. Let's see if I've got longer. Is this going to fit in? Yes, it is. So, yeah, these seem to be quite commonly indexed in the past, which means there's quite a lot of them out there. And I wonder how many people realise that potentially the USB outlet is live at means voltage, but it's charging. It's there. No, it's not. Get out. There's that not coming out. Long screw. Here's the circuit board. There's the mains going in. No, I want a circuitry. There's the battery pack. There's the USB port which is connected. There's a battery. Right, tell you what, I'm just going to reverse engineer this. So it's really simple. It's except for some more quirks. Now, if you look at that, if you ignore this bulb here, we've made quite a standard capacitor dropper. Then a multi-capacitor here is 1 millifarad, but it's only 250 volt, which is a bit naughty. And it's got an 820 kV discharge resistor motor, which is quite important. But that limits the current effect of the mains. Goes through a bit of rectifier to convert to DC, and this kind of, I don't know if this electrolytic capacitor is really neat because everything's in parallel after that. The capacitor, the set of 3 nickel metal plate, presumably is supposed to be nickel cadmium, but let's assume it can come to the USB port just connected directly across that. So it's a case that if you plug in a phone to charge, it's typically it would require about 4.2 volts to charge a battery fully, plus the slight overhead voltage required